th my sparse an. Oh, I'm too. The city was still awake when Elena Moore returned home that night. Rain traced crooked lines down the glass of her taxi window, blurring the neon skyline into bleeding colors, red, green, and blue like a dying heartbeat. Her reflection stared back at her pale face, tired eyes, and the faint tremor of someone who hadn't truly slept in days. The meter clicked. Rough night, miss, the driver asked, his voice muffled by the hum of the engine. Elena smiled faintly. Aren't they all? He didn't respond. His eyes met hers briefly in the mirror, then shifted away almost too quickly, as if he'd seen something he shouldn't. She stepped out in front of the Halcyon, an aging apartment tower that loomed like a forgotten monument on the city's west side. Once luxurious, it now stood in half darkness, its marble floors cracked and its lobby smelling faintly of mold and burnt wiring. The elevator worked only sometimes, and when it did, it groaned like a dying animal. She lived on the 21st floor, the kind of place you stayed in not because you wanted to, but because you had nowhere else to go. Elena was a freelance video editor, mostly horror shorts and indie films. She used to love the genre. Now it just felt too close, too real. When she entered her apartment, the flickering hallway light followed her like a pulse. Inside, the place was quiet, too quiet. She dropped her bag and tossed her damp coat on the chair and started her nightly routine, kettle on, laptop open, headphones ready. Outside, thunder rolled like a warning. At 1:37 a.m., while syncing audio for a new client, she noticed something strange. In the footage, a dimly lit hallway from a horror short, a shadow crossed the frame, too tall to be any actor, and it moved against the light. She paused. Rewound, played again. There it was, faint but unmistakable. Elena frowned and opened the original raw file, the same. She messaged her client, "Hey, there's something in your footage. Was that intentional?" No reply. The kettle screamed, breaking the silence. She made tea, shook it off, and told herself she was tired. But when she sat back down, her computer screen glitched for half a second. The reflection of her own room appeared inside the video window. Only in that reflection, someone stood behind her. She turned instantly. Empty room. Just rain outside. Her breath trembled. She whispered. At 2:04 a.m., her phone buzzed with a new email. From unknown Halcyon residents. Net subject T. Keep the door closed tonight. No body text. She blinked, confused. Probably spam. The building had no such mailing list anymore. It hadn't for years. She deleted it. Outside, sirens wailed far below. The clock ticked toward 3. And then came the knock. 3 slow knocks. Not loud, but deliberate. She froze. No one ever came here. Not at this hour. She approached the door quietly, pressed her eye to the peephole. Nothing. Just the dim hallway. But as she turned away, the knocking came again, this time from inside the wall, right behind her bookshelf. Her blood turned to ice. The sound was steady, rhythmic tap, tap, tap. She pressed her ear against the wall. Faintly, she heard whispers, words she couldn't understand, a language made of sighs. The power flickered once, twice, then the lights died completely. The city outside glowed faintly through her window, but inside, Elena stumbled for her phone light. The moment it turned on, she saw them, handprints smeared across her wall in dust, dozens of them, all reaching outward from inside. Her phone vibrated again, a text. Don't look at them, no number. Elena dropped the phone. It hit the floor, lighting up her shaking face. She whispered, "This isn't happening." But the whisper from the wall replied softly, almost mockingly, "Oh, it is." She stumbled backward, tripping over the rug. The bookshelf shuddered as if something behind it pushed forward. The sound grew louder, scratching like nails on plaster. Elena grabbed her jacket, ran to the door, and pulled it open. The hallway was empty, bathed in the flickering red of the emergency light. Every door was closed except one, room 219, across from hers. It was slightly ajar. Something about it felt wrong. The air was colder there, heavy with the damp. But curiosity, she should have run, or something darker, pulled her closer. She pushed the door open. Inside, 209 Dane looked identical to hers, but abandoned. Dust on every surface, wallpaper peeling. And in the center of the room, a single chair faced the window. Someone was sitting in it. Lena, her name came from the figure's lips before she even spoke. She stepped closer, her voice trembling. "Who are you?" The figure turned its head slightly, and she saw her own face staring back. Same eyes, same scar, same terrified expression. The air collapsed around her. The other Elena smiled faintly. "You shouldn't have opened the door." Then everything went dark. When she woke up, morning light seeped through the blinds. The clock read 7:06 a.m. Her apartment looked normal again. No dust, no handprints. Elena laughed shakily. "Just a dream," she said out loud, almost believing it. She walked to her bathroom, splashed water on her face, and stared into the mirror. But the reflection blinked a second too late. Her hands froze mid-air. The reflection smiled, but she hadn't. A soft knock came at the door again. 3 slow knocks. Elena's reflection whispered, "It's time." That night, the neighbors complained about sounds coming from room 2 Sunseam, screaming, furniture scraping, and something like metal dragging on concrete. When security checked, the door was locked from the inside. No one answered. By morning, the door stood slightly open. The apartment was spotless, empty, except for one thing, a camera left running on the desk. It played a recording of Elena sitting in front of the lens, whispering to herself. Only her voice wasn't hers anymore. It was layered, deeper, distorted. She stared into the lens and said, Once you see them, they live in your reflection. The footage ended with static. 2 weeks later, the Halcyon made headlines again. A maintenance worker had gone missing while fixing an electrical issue on the 21st floor. His last radio message was strange. He claimed to hear someone whispering his name from inside the walls. When police entered, they found nothing, except a faint message scratched into the plaster above the breaker box. Keep the door closed tonight. They sealed the floor. But those who live in the Halcyon say that on quiet nights, you can still hear the tapping from inside the walls of room 2017. And sometimes, if you pass by the mirror in the lobby after midnight, you'll catch a reflection that doesn't belong to you. A pale woman with Elena's eyes, mouthing a single, soundless warning. Don't look at them. The city keeps moving. Lights flash. Cars roar. But somewhere above, behind a dark window on the 21st floor, a faint blue glow flickers, a screen looping a video that never ends, with a face that's no longer human watching from the other side. And if you ever check into the Halcyon, keep your eyes on your own reflection, because once it looks back, you'll never really know which one of you walked away.